So in section 15N we're looking at applications, and there's one example here, and the example is to do with tide heights. They're going to fluctuate from high tide to low tide and then repeat that, so we have our periodic function. The function they're giving us up here is for the height of the tide above the mean sea level. So it says the height of the tide above mean, or the average sea level, on a particular day is given approximately by this rule, 4 sine pi on 6t. So there's an a value and a b value, something at the front of sine and something with the t. T here is the number of hours after midnight. For part A, we want to draw the graph for the first 24 hours, the graph of y equals h of t for t lying between 0 and 24. So if we have a look at our function, h of t equals 4 sine pi on 6t. The way we've started these before is to list what a is, to list what b is, and then work out your amplitude and your period in this case. So our amplitude's going to be 4. It's going to oscillate between positive 4 and negative 4. The b value allows you to work out your period, because period is 2 pi divided by your value of b. In this case, you're dividing by a fraction, pi on 6. You can't actually divide by a fraction, but you can times by the reciprocal. So the pi's are actually going to cancel out, and that leaves you with 12. So it means every 12 hours the cycle continues. So it's a sine curve. It's going to start at 0, go to max, 0, min, back to 0, and that will take 12 hours. Then it will repeat that cycle again. So remember, we want the graph for the first 24 hours. So if I go up in 2s here, there's my first 24 hours. I know that the period's 12. The other thing is the amplitude is from negative 4 to positive 4. So if we just go up in 2, 4, negative 2, negative 4, that should be enough to put our information on. So every 12 hours it's completing one cycle. So sine starts at 0, and by the time we get back to 12 it should complete one cycle. So halfway through that, which is at 6, it should be back at 0, and for sine it goes 0, max, so at 3 hours, halfway up here, and at 9 hours it's going to be at a minimum. So it's going to go max, 0, min, 0, and it's going to complete that cycle again. I'm doing this to 24 hours because that's what the question said. So by 24 it's back to 0, halfway, which is the 18, it'll be at 0, and then I can halve it again. At 15 hours it'll be at a max, and at 21 hours, halfway between 20 and 22, at a min. So let's put the curve through. And that's our graph of h of t equals 4 sine pi on 6t. Okay, so that's all they want in part A. Part B wants to know when was the high tide. So to answer part B, there are 2 ways you can do it. The quickest way is just to read it off the graph. They want to know when was high tide. So if this was on a tech active paper and it didn't ask you to use algebraic methods, we could just read it off. And looking at the graph, the high tides occur at 3 hours after and at 15 hours after. So remember, these are the number of hours after midnight. So from graph, so if you don't have to do it algebraically, it occurs, so 3 hours after 12 a.m. is 3 a.m. and 15 hours is going to make it at 1500, which is 3 p.m. However, you probably would need to know how to solve this algebraically. So this is putting together everything that we've done in this topic. So our high tide, so algebraically, high tide's going to happen when it's at 4 meters. High tide when your height equals 4. So if I take my equation for height, which is 4 sine pi on 6t, and I make it equal to 4, rearrange it so you just have sine of some angle. So that means divide both sides by 4, gives you 1. So we want to know, where does sine of some angle equal positive 1? So I'm going to think to myself, on my unit circle, sine is the y-coordinate. So on the unit circle, where is the y-coordinate equal to 1? Positive 1, and it's up here at 90 degrees, at pi on 2. So therefore, this angle, the thing that's in the bracket, or your basic angle, equals, it's going to be at pi on 2. Then it could also be, so that's at pi on 2. You could have also gone around and mapped over and gone another part, which would be 4 pi on 2 is your 2 pi plus an extra 1, so it'd be 5 pi on 2. So all these multiples, keep adding another revolution on. Because obviously this is height of the tide, so it's going to be continuing that pattern. So to get t on its own, we're going to divide both sides by pi on 6. You can't divide by pi on 6, but you can times by 6 on pi, times by the reciprocal when you move it over. And rather than work them all out, I'm just putting dot, dot, dot to show that this continues. So t equals, your pi's cancel out in both of these. The first one leaves you with 6 divided by 2, which is 3. The next one, 5 times 6 is 30, divided by 2 you get 15, and so on. They are the first times we found from our graph. So within the first 24 hours, this is the number of hours after midnight, so therefore now you could either write it in 24-hour time, or you can write it in 12-hour time. That's one of them, and the other was at 1500 hours after midnight, which is 3 p.m. Okay, so they are your answers, and you'd be expected to find them algebraically as well as reading off the graph. Of course, if you've got your graph there, it's an excellent way to check. Part C, moving on. Part C says, what was the height of the high tide? Well, that's really just reading it off. We use that to answer part B. So the height of the high tide is 4 metres. And it was 4 metres above mean sea level. So wherever the average was, like your equilibrium point, it just oscillates 4 metres above and below that. Part D is asking us for what was the height of the tide at 8 a.m. So when t is 8 hours after midnight, what is the height at that point? So one way is we can solve it algebraically. Of course, you could just look at your graph. Oops, come up here to 8 a.m. And it's below the mean sea level. So you could read this point off and then across. Okay, so you could read off this value here to see what the height is, but it should be a negative value because it's below that mean. So algebraically though, let's have a look at what we do. H of 8, sub into our actual formula, that's 4 sine of 8 pi on 6, which is 4 sine, the 8, 6 reduces down to 4/3, so it's sine of 4 pi on 3. And we know how to solve this for an exact value. Okay, so I'm going to give an exact value. That's using my triangles, because I can see it's got this pi on 3, something to do with 60 degrees. So this sine, I'm just going to consider the trig part. So if I just consider the sine 4 pi on 3 first, and then we'll times this answer by 4. Work out what quadrant we're in. 4 pi on 3, well 3 pi on 3 is round at 180, 4 pi on 3 is pi on 3 away, but in quadrant 3. Sine is negative in that quadrant. That means that sine of 4 pi on 3 is the same as the y-coordinate in quadrant 1, sine of pi on 3, but we just need to note that the answer will be negative. So it's going to be negative. And for the pi on 3, I've got my special triangle. That's the 60 there, or pi on 3, pi on 6, 1, 2, root 3. So sine of pi on 3 is root 3 over 2. let's sub this back in up here. So h of 8 is going to equal 4 lots of negative root 3 on 2. And you can cancel that down a little bit to negative 2 root 3 metres. So I could just say, instead of putting the negative, I could say that it's 2 root 3 metres below the mean height at 8 am. Okay, so that's what I would have expected, because I saw that it was going to be a negative. So you can either give it as a negative, or you can explain that the negative just means it's underneath the average mean height. There is one last part to this question, and I'm going to put this in a separate video. So if you click on to the next one, it's just asking about when the boat can cross this harbour. We need to have at least a metre of water above mean sea level. So I'll answer that one in the following video.